Hello to all of you. So this is Dr. Anisha from Sri Chaitanya Educational Institutions. Welcome you all to the most innovative and most useful bridge course for NEET 2025 and the NEET 2027 aspirants. So NEET 2027 aspirants, all the going to be doctors, welcome you all to this most useful course study, that is our bridge course. I hope that you all are getting benefits from these courses. All the subjects and the teachers are making their absolute effort to make everything comfortable for you. So now here we are studying in the part of the zoology. So in the zoology section, yes, good evening all of you. So in the zoology section, yesterday we had discussed about the immunological studies. So what is immunology? Yes, immunology is the study of immune system of our body. And what is it in case of human body? We have discussed about the antigen, antibody, various terminologies related to immunology. So today what we are going to discuss today? We are going to discuss more about the immunological topics, various other definitions, and yes, some little concepts. And guess what? We were discussing about the questions. So we are going to discuss questions also about the immunology. So here we are starting with the immunology, basics of immunology. We have, yes, all of your queries will be answered definitely. But first, let's start studying. Yes, hello and good evening to all of you. Okay. So what is this immunology we have studied yesterday? Yesterday, we had studied about the immunology, that is the basic idea of immune system of our body. Okay. So immune system means the various lymphoid organs we were talking about. I think I did not forget that when you have studied the immune system, I gave you a homework, and that homework was what is immune system of the body, what are primary and secondary organs of lymphoid system or immune system in our body. So yes, how many of you have completed the homework? How many of you have seen it, that what is primary and secondary structures in our immune system or the lymphoid organs? Let me see. Yes, most of you have seen it. I am very sure you guys are so interactive as well as so enthusiastic for studies. So yeah, I can see bone marrow and spleen. Let's see, are very good. Okay, so let's start studying. We were discussing about the immune system of the body. So here we are. We left it yesterday at this part. So immune system of the body, and what about this immune system of the body? Immune system of the body was, or we can say immune system of the body we had discussed as the lymphoid organs. So this is our lymphoid organ, and these lymphoid organs are the parts of our immune system. That means it is this lymphoid organs that is providing us immunity. Now these lymphoid organs are, we have seen it. What are these different types of lymphoid organs? Lymphoid organs are two types. One is called as the primary lymphoid organs. Yes, you heard it right. It is the primary lymphoid organs, and another is the secondary lymphoid organ. Primary lymphoid organ and secondary lymphoid organ. Now what is primary and what is secondary? Yes, you are right. You have heard that it is primary and secondary. Example of primary lymphoid organ is bone marrow and spleen. Alright, bone marrow and the thymus are the primary lymphoid organ, whereas secondary lymphoid organs such as spleen, lymph nodes, tonsils, and there are terminologies called as the MALT. We will learn about it too. So these are the various terminologies you are going to see. Now what are these structures? These are actually the organs of our body. Did you know we have an organ called spleen also? Yes, I am very sure that you know we have an organ called spleen also. How many of you can tell where is the location, where the spleen is located? Can anybody answer me? Where is the spleen located? I am very sure you all know it. Come, we will discuss about it. So first it is the bone marrow and thymus. Bone marrow and thymus it is called as the primary lymphoid organs because all our WBCs or the most important lymphocytes are formed and activated here. So that is why they are called as the primary lymphoid organs. These are the structures. Bone marrow and thymus are the structures where these lymphocytes are produced and lymphocytes are activated. So these are the structures. Primary lymphoid organs are the structures where lymphocytes are produced. Lymphocytes are produced as well as they are activated. Produced and activated. This is called as the primary lymphoid organ. I am very sure you understood it. All of you got it? What is primary lymphoid organ? Yes, primary lymphoid organ is the organ which is the structure producing the lymphocytes. These are a type of WBCs and these lymphocytes are produced and activated here in case of the primary lymphoid organs. Now what are the structures called as the secondary lymphoid organs? Secondary lymphoid organs are the ones, here are the secondary lymphoid organs. Secondary lymphoid organs are the organs where further lymphocytes multiplies. Further lymphocytes multiply. Further multiplication of the lymphocytes takes place in the secondary lymphoid organs. So, first is the primary lymphoid organ, that is bone marrow and thymus. Where are these located? Bone marrows are located inside long bones. Inside the long bones, there is a marrow cavity called as this bone marrow where the blood cells are being produced. So that is the location of bone marrow and thymus is a structure. I will show you. See here, if this is the structure of the bone, if this is the structure of the bone, so inside the bone, it is the bone marrow present. That is the structure of the bone marrow. Now, where is the thymus located? If this is the structure of the, I am very sure you will understand which organ is this. This is the lungs. So, inside or within the lungs, there is the space present. The very narrow space present between the lungs. Here in this narrow space present between the lungs, in this space, the structure which is present here is the thymus. Thymus is present inside, or we can say in the space called mediastinum, and mediastinum is the structure, that is the space between two lungs. So since these two are most important primary lymphoid organs, we need to know their location. One is the bone marrow. Bone marrow is present at the central cavity of the bone. Long bones, at their central cavity, bone marrow is present, and this is the location of thymus. Thymus is present at the narrow space between the two lungs. This space is called as the mediastinum. In the mediastinum, the structure that is present is called as thymus. I am very sure you all have understood it. The location of the primary lymphoid organs. So now it is the secondary lymphoid organs, like we have said, the tonsil, spleen and many more structures. So first it is the spleen, lymph nodes, tonsil and malt. What are spleen? Spleen is an organ. Now where is this located? Exactly, it is inside the abdominal cavity. So inside the abdominal cavity, just below the stomach or at the end of the pancreas, spleen is present. So spleen is present in abdominal cavity. In the abdominal cavity, spleen is located. Another structure, which one is that? Tonsils. Tonsils, we know it is present in the region called as the pharynx. So near the pharynx, you have heard of the word pharynx. Where is it located? See, I will tell you where will you find the pharynx. So if, I am very sure you understand, This is the structure of the face. This is the oral and nasal cavity. This is the oral cavity. The common space between the common space here between the, you can see this common space which is receiving the opening for the oral cavity, the nasal cavity as well as the ear cavity. This common space here is called as the pharynx. Now here in this pharynx region, different type of glandular structures are present. These glandular structures are called as the tonsils. So these are tonsils. Okay. So these are the tonsils. You must have heard of that. Somebody has got infection, the tonsils are swollen and the doctor will press it here. So this is the exact location where you can find the tonsils. These are called as pharyngeal tonsils. So that is another secondary lymphoid organs. So secondary lymphoid organs, this is the tonsils. Next, another one we can say the spleen. Another is lymph nodes. Now lymph nodes are present at various structures, various places. Lymph nodes are present around the neck region, around the armpit, around the various other structures which are present in the form of lymph nodes. Throughout the body, different locations has lymph nodes. And one very important term I have used which is called as malt. Now this word malt you are going to use further also. What is this malt? Malt is mucosa associated. It is a short form of this terminology. Mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. Okay. So mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. M-A-L-T. Malt. Mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. So malt is very important secondary lymphoid organ because it forms more than 50% of the different type of secondary lymphoid organs that are present. It is such a major, such a bulk in amount that it is forming major bulk of the secondary lymphoid organs. So these are all different type of lymphoid organs. Bone marrow and thymus here. So it is the bone marrow and thymus, primary lymphoid organ. And these are secondary lymphoid organs which are pharyngeal tonsils, the spleen, mucosa associated lymphoid tissues and the various parts of the lymph nodes. Mucosa associated lymphoid tissues we will discuss in detail when we will study the human health and disease. So these are the parts. See here also you can say mucous membranes are present which is acting as the mucous membrane acting as the lymphoid organs, tonsils, lymph nodes, see here different parts, lymph nodes are showing here. There is bone marrow present, lymphatic vessels, spleen in the abdominal cavity. This is the diaphragm. Here is the structure or position of the spleen, the thymus between the lungs and lymphatic vessels. All of these form the primary and secondary lymphoid organs. So I am very sure now you all have understood what are the different types of lymphoid organs present in our body. Okay. Now we are moving on to various terminologies related to immunology. Yesterday we had discussed about antigen, antibody. Antigen is the substance which when enters our body produces an immune response, produces antibody formation. And when antibody is produced in response to antigen, which is a chemical, antibody is a chemical made up of globulin protein and hence they are also called as immunoglobulin. Alright. So now here we have few more terminologies to read. First terminology which is called as the endemic diseases. Now what are endemic disease, epidemic disease and pandemic disease. So these are three terminologies we will be learning now. Endemic, epidemic, pandemic. What is endemic disease? Endemic disease is a type of disease which is common in a locality, which is common in that specific geographical area, and it is present throughout the year. For example, suppose a kind of viral infection, or we can say the kind of malaria. Malaria is throughout present in many parts of India and majority part of the Africa. So they are present without any season, they are present throughout the year, and they are localized to that specific area. So that is called as the endemic disease. Endemic disease is the particular type of bacteria or viral or their strains which are present throughout the year in a specified locality. So if we need to define them, we will be defining them. It is the disease that is present. It is the disease that is present in a specified locality, throughout the year. Throughout the year, if it is present in a specified locality, it is called as endemic disease. Okay. So this is endemic, which is only specified in a geographical area. Now we are coming to epidemic disease. Now what is epidemic disease? Epidemic disease. Okay. So what is this? Okay, what is the doubt? Useful for the synthesis of potassium and calcium ions. Thymus is useful for synthesis of potassium and calcium ions. Why is that? Why potassium and calcium ions are needed for thymus? See, the thing is, there are various glands are there. One gland is the thymus, another is the thyroid gland there. I think you are getting confused. Thymus is useful for the synthesis of potassium and calcium ions also. Synthesis means they are, if you are talking about absorption, so yes, some of them help in the process of the absorption. It is not the synthesis, it is called as the absorption. Okay? Okay. Why tonsil happen? Tonsil happens here because we need the process of immunity, and immunity is the structure which is, or immunity is the ability which is providing us different type of protections from infection. Yes, one Eshwar Reddy has a very good question. Difference between pathogen and antigen. Difference between pathogen and antigen is, pathogen can be any kind of infection, whether it is a germ or bacteria or viruses, anything. And what is an antigen? When a pathogen enters our body and produces immune response, at that time it is called as an antigen. A pathogen is also an antigen when it is producing immune response. If it is outside the body, it is just a pathogen. A bacteria outside the body is just a pathogen. But when it is inside the body, it is causing, what is it causing? When it is inside the body, it is causing an immune response, and at that time it will be called as the antigen. So pathogen also has the function of the antigen. So epidemic diseases. Now what are epidemic diseases? Can you give example? Example of what? Skin is the innate immunity. It is the part of innate immunity. What else is there? Plasmodium is a pathogen. Yes, definitely. All of you have many doubts. Difference between immunity and nutrition. Nutrition. See, nutrition is about the food. Nutrition is how much nutrient, how many amount of food or calories you have. But immunity is the ability. Definitely immunity will be good if you intake sufficient amount of proper protein or vitamins, all these. But if the deficiency occurs in food, then there is not proper synthesis of these cells and chemicals in the body, which will lower down the immunity also. So immunity is connected with the nutrition. Because of good health, good nutrition, we get immunity. So that is how they are related. They are not the same terminologies. Okay. Why do people remove tonsils? Okay, if I keep on answering, I will not be able to even solve questions. Okay. So yes, this is the last question I'll be taking. After this, I will be continuing my topic. All right. So question from Janavi is, why do people remove tonsils? See beta, what here happens is, whenever any infection comes, we have learnt what? That there are components which gets multiplied here. What is the definition we have written? The definition of secondary lymphoid organs is organs where further lymphocytes multiply. So lymphocytes are activated inside the primary lymphoid organs. Now when they are activated means whenever any pathogen, any antigen enters the body, what it will do? It will start, suppose any foreign substance, any antigen, anything that is attacking our body has entered, and it will immediately start the immune response, immunity in our body. So what happens? There will be a fight, and there will be requirement of more number of antibodies and fighting cells, WBCs. From where are they being produced? From where are they coming out? These are coming out of our secondary lymphoid organs. So primary lymphoid organs are giving it for the first time, but consecutive times secondary lymphoid organ is providing us more and more number of activated cells, activated antibodies. Now these whole structures, what these are doing? They are going to fight with the foreign pathogen, foreign substance, that is the antigen, and they are going to completely destroy them and eliminate them from the body. But why it is getting multiplied inside the secondary lymphoid organs? These secondary lymphoid organs like the spleen, like the tonsils, like the lymph nodes, they enlarge in size because they are producing more number of these cells. They are producing more number of antibodies. So they are doing more work, they expand in their size. When they expand in their size, they become swollen. So that is why when we get a viral infection, our tonsils will become swollen, right? That thing is called as tonsillitis. So tonsillitis is the viral infection, and the virus and the specific antibody formation, the lymphocytes, all these things are happening inside our secondary lymphoid organs, and that is why they enlarge in the size. And sometimes what happens, some people are very prone to infections and they have very inflamed, or we can say enlarged tonsils. Most of the times their tonsils are always in the swollen form because of minor infections. So what happens at that time? Once they are enlarged, if they are not going back to their original position, or we can say if it is not getting treated, some of them are bound to remove these tonsils. And the process for removal of tonsil is called as tonsillectomy. Tonsillectomy, you need to learn this word ectomy. Ectomy means removal. Anything that is surgically being removed is called as tonsillectomy. You must have heard the terminology appendectomy. Appendectomy is, ectomy word means surgical removal. Everybody remember this terminology, surgical removal of any structure. Surgical removal of any structure is ectomy. If we are removing tonsil, it is tonsillectomy. If we are removing the appendix, that is appendectomy. Likewise, many other surgeries are there. Removal of these structures are called as tonsillectomy or appendectomy. Alright. So now moving on to the, okay, now no more questions. We will be discussing to the, yes, you are right, tubectomy. See, Balaji is getting it absolutely right. Yes, tubectomy is there where fallopian tubes are cut and removed. So epidemic and endemic. Endemic is localized to a specific part. Epidemic diseases are the diseases in which we will see a specific disease spreading to a large locality, or we can say to a large population at the same time. to a large population at the same time. At the same time. So endemic diseases are present throughout the year. There is nothing different about it, because suppose, for example, if locality of a area has a pond infected with certain bacteria, that bacterial infection, that gastric infection will be there throughout the year in all of the individuals in that locality. That is endemic. And what is epidemic? It was not there before. The disease was not there before. Suddenly it comes out and it affects majority of the population at the same time. So when a specific disease is seen in a majority of the population at the same time, it is called as epidemic. For example, epidemic of cholera. Epidemic which we have seen recently is H1N1 epidemic. In India, H1N1 was spreading. In India, cholera was spreading few years back. In India, the tuberculosis disease was spreading. So these were epidemic. Majority of the part of the country at the same time is facing the same disease, that is called as the epidemic diseases. Okay? And now it is the pandemic. Since you all are the children of COVID era, so I need not be explaining much what is pandemic diseases. All of you must be knowing. Yes, see, Venkat is already asking about the COVID-19. So COVID, yes, absolutely, all of you. Even polio, Hasini is also right. Polio as well as COVID-19. What are these? Polio and COVID-19. These are pandemic diseases. Pandemic means they are spread or they are affecting large group of population, and when they are affecting large group of population, it is almost not restricted to a single country. It is affecting the whole world. So it is the COVID-19. COVID-19 is a pandemic. You all are very right. Yes, COVID-19. Sometimes chickenpox might not be a pandemic because we have vaccines for chickenpox, but COVID-19 is a pandemic disease. Similarly, HIV, very good. HIV, someone also said HIV. Yes, HIV is also a pandemic disease affecting majority of the population of the world. Many of the continents are affected. So, majority of the continents are affected by the pandemic of COVID-19 as well as HIV. All these are called as the pandemic diseases. Yes, plague was there. Long time back, plague was also a pandemic, or sometimes even it had occurred in the form of epidemic. But right now, it is not in any condition. So, these are the examples of endemic, epidemic and pandemic diseases. Endemic, localized, present throughout the year, not making much of a difference. Whereas, epidemic happens at certain period of time, at the same time affecting majority of the population. Whereas, it is the pandemic. Pandemic affects larger amount of the population, sometimes even the countries or continents are involved, causing the smallpox, absolutely, causing the pandemic of COVID-19, causing the pandemic of the AIDS. Yes, all these are considered as pandemic diseases. Now we are moving on to another part which we call as the pathogen, the vector and the host. Since we have already discussed about the pathogen, what is a pathogen? Anything. Pathogen and antigen. See, antigen is the immunological term for any foreign substance. Can be a pathogen, can be a dust, can be a germ, or it can be any XYZ thing that can produce immune response in the body. Anything which when enters our body and our body is reacting to it is the antigen. Now that is a different part. Now we are coming to a part which is called as the pathogen. We use the terminology pathogen. What is a pathogen? Pathogen, usually we talk about anything living or almost living like the viruses and attacking our body. They are called as the pathogen. Pathogen are the organisms infecting our body. Organisms infecting human body are called as the pathogen. Now, what are these organisms affecting or infecting the human body? Now, these organisms can be a virus. So, name a virus which is a pathogen. For example, HIV. Another virus which is affecting our body, which is acting as a pathogen, smallpox virus, chickenpox virus, mumps virus, measles virus, all these are pathogen. Bacteria, tuberculosis bacteria, syphilis bacteria, typhoid bacteria. Similar way, viruses, fungus, parasites, all of these are pathogens. Pathogens are organisms that is entering our body causing the disease are called as the pathogen. Now similarly, it is the vector. Now what is a vector? Vector, we can say a structure or an organism which helps in the entry of the pathogen inside our body. Our body is the host. So host is the organism getting affected or infected by pathogen. Organism getting affected or infected by a pathogen is called as the host. So now when the pathogen enters the host, sometimes it is unable to enter by itself. It requires another structure. For example, suppose you are staying from your school or college almost 10 to 20 kilometers away. Your house, your home is 20 kilometers away from your school or a college. Can you go and walk there? No. If it is within 500, 1 kilometer or 500 meters to 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers, you can still walk and reach your college. But if it is 20 kilometers, it is difficult for you to walk there every day. So what do? You take a rickshaw, you take a bus, you take a scooter, anything. You take a vehicle to reach your college. Alright. So it is this vector. Pathogen utilizes the vector to go inside the host. So that is a vector. Vector helps in the transmission of pathogen. Transmission means transfer, movement, going inside. Transmission of pathogen inside host. So inside the host, if the pathogen has to go inside the host, inside a body, if the pathogen, the virus, the bacteria has to go, what it has to be done? It has to take the help of a vector, and using this vector, it will go inside the host. Now I will give you one example. All of you must be knowing the malaria. Yes, the disease malaria. How we get malaria? Who can tell me? How do we get malaria? How do we get malarial fever? Who can answer me? Yes, I will be waiting. What is the malarial fever? How do we get the malarial fever? Yes, Ravi Kumar, I am doing exactly the same thing. So what is it? Yes, mosquito. So mosquito, which mosquito? It is the Anopheles female mosquito. Okay. So now female Anopheles mosquito, when bites a healthy person, this bacteria, pathogen, fungus, parasite, whatever this thing is, enters the human body. This malaria is caused by a pathogen named Plasmodium. Plasmodium is a pathogen which is a protozoal parasite. Now what is a protozoa? We all know it is a type of amoeba-like structure. So this protozoa, Plasmodium, enters the human body. How does it enter the human body? With the help of the vector mosquito. It is the female mosquito. Now what it does? Plasmodium will be present inside the female mosquito's salivary gland, inside the oral cavity of the mosquito. When the mosquito takes a blood meal, yes, mosquito feeds on human blood, female mosquitoes feed on human blood. So when the mosquito bites the female mosquito, when the female mosquito bites a human body, it will release the saliva, and when it releases the saliva, the plasmodium also enters along with the saliva in the human body. Is that clear? I will explain it to you again. See what happens if this is the human hand. Consider this to be a human hand. This has the blood vessels like this. So this is the blood vessel. Now what happens when the vector mosquito came? When the vector mosquito came, it will draw blood from the human body. So now when it is drawing blood from the human body, at the same time it is releasing saliva from its oral cavity also. So when it is releasing saliva, saliva mixed with plasmodium enters the human blood, and that is how the plasmodium reaches the human blood. When the plasmodium is in the blood, it is causing malaria. Directly, plasmodium cannot enter inside our blood vessel. So that is why it utilizes the malaria mosquito, the Anopheles mosquito, as a vector, because of which it can easily enter directly inside our blood vessel and cause the disease. So that is a vector. Pathogen is the plasmodium parasite, host is the human body, and vector is the mosquito, female Anopheles mosquito. Is that okay? I hope you all have understood it right now. So these are the three terminologies: the pathogen, the vector, and the host. Okay, now moving on to another terminologies. Which one is that? Another important terminology is incubation period. Now what is this incubation period? What do you mean by incubation period? Incubation period is the time period. Okay, first I will write down the definition. It is the time period. All of you write it down, because this is an important definition which you are going to use for human health and disease chapter. You will require this information. So write this down. Time period between the first time entry of the pathogen and the appearance of first symptom. Now remember this very carefully. Appearance of first symptom and first time entry. The time period between them. So it is the time period when the mosquito is biting a human, and it is the long time period after which on this day the first fever, chills and sweating symptoms starting. So this time period is called as the incubation period. This is called as incubation period. So what is this incubation period? We have seen the pathogen is the plasmodium, vector is the malarial mosquito, that is female Anopheles mosquito, and host is human body. So when the human body is getting bitten by the mosquito, that is the first time entry of the plasmodium. From there till the appearance of first symptom, like suppose it is taking 6 to 7 days. 6 to 7 days back the mosquito is biting, and after 6 to 7 days the first time fever is appearing. So this time period of 6 to 7 days is the incubation period. Okay. So what is this incubation period? First time entry of the pathogen, when the plasmodium entered the body by the mosquito bite. From there, appearance of the first symptom, that is the fever, chills, sweating, body ache, headache, vomiting, many type of symptoms. So when it is starting first fever, so that time period, that time lapse is the incubation period. Okay. So incubation period, why do we get this incubation period? Okay. So why do we get this incubation period? We can't see board clearly. Is it not clearly visible to everyone? All of you can see the board clearly. Any problem? Okay. Okay, let's see, maybe it can be a network issue also, dear. So just see what is it about. Okay. So if the changes or if the board is still not clear, I think you have to check for your computer network also. Okay. Check for the network, it is fine otherwise. Okay. Okay. Thank you everyone. Yes, it's clear. Thank you. Thank you everyone. Okay. So let's moving on to the incubation period. So why do we have or why do we get the incubation period? So incubation period means the time period between the entry of the pathogen to the appearance of first symptom, this time period. Now why is that present? Suppose what happens, as soon as the pathogen or the virus or the bacteria or the parasite has entered the body. Okay. So when it has entered the body, immediately the body will not respond because body doesn't know what is happening. As soon as anything foreign thing comes inside the body, body first will analyze and identify what is it. Okay, this is a foreign thing, this is not our body's cells or the structure. Something from outside has entered our body. So what should we do? How do we destroy it? How do we capture it? What to do with it? All of it takes some time. And sometimes what happens, like this malarial parasite, as soon as it enters the blood circulation after getting bitten by a mosquito, the plasmodium has entered the blood circulation. It is so sharp, it is so good at hiding. What it will do? To escape our immune system, because our blood has WBCs. It can immediately destroy the whole of the plasmodium as soon as it sees. So what plasmodium will do? It will go and hide to a place which is called as liver. As soon as the mosquito has bitten, plasmodium has entered our blood circulation. Within 30 minutes, the plasmodium through our blood circulation will reach the liver cell and will go and hide inside it, so that our body's immune system cannot find it anywhere. Our body will think there is nothing much in it because the plasmodium is in the hidden form, and when the body is in relaxed state, at that time it will attack itself. So till then it will stay hidden inside the organs like liver or some other structures also, and inside the liver it will keep on multiplying. When it is large in number, only then it will come out into the circulation and will attack in a massive form, forming these or causing the disease. So that is why we get the incubation period. We get the incubation period because sometimes our body is fighting for it. As a result, we get the result or we get the effect after 3 to 4 days, or maybe sometimes the infection or the pathogen has is hiding somewhere, and when it is multiplied it enough sufficiently so that it can fight with our immune system, only then it will express itself, only then it will come out of its hidden place and will start attacking the WBCs. So that is the reason for incubation period. Never think that as soon as the body has entered or the pathogen has entered the body, immediately the next day the fever will come. No, that never happens. Never happens for any of the pathogen. So what happens? The thing that happens is, initially it will take some time either to identify the pathogen, or the pathogen might be hidden somewhere. So everything takes some time, and after this time period, slowly the pathogen will show its expression, it will start fighting, and then we will get the fever, infection or any kind of symptom. So this time period between them is called as the incubation period. So now you will get this information about the incubation period for each and every infection, whether it is hepatitis B, whether it is an HIV, whether it is malaria or any other infection. There is the process of incubation period for each and every pathogen. So now who can tell me who has one of the longest incubation period? One of the longest, not the longest. One of the longest incubation period is seen in HIV, because yes, HIV virus inside human body goes and hides inside the macrophage cells. Macrophages are a different type of WBCs inside which these HIV will hide for years. Can you guess the incubation period of HIV? Yes, one of the longest. So that is almost 2 months to could be 20 years. Up to 20 years it remains hidden. Yes, all of you are correct. HIV, AIDS, absolute. Elephant. No, not elephant definitely. So HIV and AIDS, correct. HIV cause the disease AIDS. HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, has the longest incubation period, or we can say one of the longest incubation period, which can go up to 20 years. Why? Because HIV after entering the body goes and hides inside the macrophages, where it multiplies slowly and then it comes out of the macrophage and causes the infection. So it can have, HIV infection can have very long incubation period. Okay, so this is one of the symptoms and one of the very important part of immunology. Let's try out some questions today. So today we have few questions. First question is this for you, and I want all of you to answer them because these are very basic questions. Okay, I want answer from all of you. Which of the following system protects our body against disease causing microbes? All of you need to answer the option number. Who is going to answer me? I want answer from all of you. Who will be the first one to answer this? Which of the following system protects our body against the infections? 1, 2, 3, 4. A, yes, very good, very good. All of you, very good. Yes, that is the, yes, absolutely. That is the energy I want. Absolutely. Very good students, very good. Immune system protects us from the different type of diseases. Second question, which of the following immunity is present from our birth? We are born with which kind of immunity? Innate, active, passive, acquired. Now again answer this question. Absolutely right. It is the continuation. It is also the same answer. Option A. Yes, innate immunity or the inborn immunity. Very good everyone. I am so happy for you all that you are such good students. Very obedient students. Very good all of you. Globulins of the blood plasma are responsible for. Now this is a very good question. By chance, here also the answer is A. Yes, defense mechanism, because globulin protein is forming, what is it called? Immunoglobulin. Immunoglobulins are nothing but the chemical form of the antibodies. So yes, you all have got it correct. Defense mechanism. Absolutely, yes, very good. Now one important and one very interesting question is assertion reasoning. Thymus and bone marrow are the primary lymphoid organ. That is the assertion. You all need to answer it on your own. Reason, lymphoid tissue is located within the lining of the major tracts like respiratory, digestive and urogenital tract. Okay. So both these statements are correct here. Yes, absolutely they are correct. But are they the correct explanation? No, this reason is correct. So it will not be the C option. Reason is correct, A is correct, assertion is correct. So both of them are correct but not the correct explanation. Why thymus and bone marrow are the primary lymphoid organs? Because lymphocytes are being formed here and lymphocytes are also getting activated here. So both these statements are correct but not the correct explanation. So it is the second option. Okay. So yes, all of you got it right. The option number 2. And this is one last matrix matching question. Who is going to tell me the answer for this question? Who will be the first one to answer? Yes. So antigen, will it be? What is it going to be? An antigen, how do we match it? An antigen, we are going to match antigen. We are going to match antigen with? Yes, okay. So antigen going to be matched with bacteria. Antigen is going to be matched with bacteria. Lymph node. Lymph node is organ of the immune system. Acquired immunity. Acquired immunity is the immunity by the vaccine. Innate immunity, saliva, and antibody will be globulin. Okay. So details of these. So which option is this? A. The one will be C. One is C. Okay. 2 will be A. So 2 will be A. Now what is it? 3 will be B. So option number D. Fourth option answer will be option D or our fourth option. Okay? Is that okay? And I hope you all have enjoyed the studies today. You all have understood the topic today. We have studied immunology, very basic points, and I enjoyed teaching you all, being with you all. Thanks all of you. We will be studying some more topics tomorrow. Okay? Have fun. All the best. Study well. Thank you all of you. Goodbye.